Everybody come on in, come on in.
The African continent. Can you imagine?
Hey, gang, gang. How is everyone? Okay, what's good, everybody? What a crazy day. I still have so much going on, and believe it or not, I'm still trying to get myself all the way square here. Okay, so by the time I got back, it was like 7 o'clock, 6:30, well, no, like 7 o'clock. And somebody, I have to change my website because somebody booked me and it was 9:30 at night. Okay, so this ends up like, draining the day, right? So, because I wanted to come back on last night and I couldn't because I was like, I have this other appointment and I have to, reserve energy. So, yeah, that's what's going on with that. I know I didn't give you guys much time, much notice. Okay, so I'm gonna, let me see. Okay. All right, so I want to go over a couple things. I didn't do like it's not like I got a ton of messages, okay? I just have been getting a lot of frequency. What's good, Tamala? A lot of frequency. Okay? So, I mean, we could talk about a couple things to start with before we get into the whole what spirit got to say. I know y'all seeing what's going on in Hawaii. Okay? And now they're going to try to reshape the conversation. I saw the beginning of the reshaping. So this morning I went on, every morning, the first, like after I do, my morning meditation or whatever, I always look up what's breaking news. And one of the stories was that they waited hours to turn the water on for the firefighters to try to fight the water. And now the story is being shifted and saying that they needed the approval of the farmers, aka the rich who own acres. Because I don't know how much you guys know, but when you see like Rick Ross buying a buffalo, or you see someone famous who has a llama, they're getting like a 15,000 deduction for having one stock animal, so they can be classified as like a farm, right? So it's disingenuous. Okay, so they're removing the word, wealthy, and replacing it with farmers. Okay, what's good, Copenhagen? You see what I'm saying? So it's already a reshaping of language, guys. Okay, now there's people who believe that there was a laser used. And I don't know if there was a laser or not used, but what I will say is just that I keep getting the word disintegrated. So a lot of those images of the cars that were burnt up with the doors closed, think about it. If you were running from a fire, would you stop to close your door? A lot of those people didn't make it out those cars. Some people are saying they're finding bodies, but I'm hearing a lot of disintegration. So something was a very high temperature. Okay? So whether it was hit by a laser or it was hit like it was cordoned off, because there's also reports that they closed out a main road to leave. Okay, so there's funny business going on. There's also funny business going on in Yellowknife. Now, Tamila, you and I were having a conversation, and I was telling you something about Yellowstone, and I think that they were meaning Yellowknife. Now, I can't remember exactly what we were talking about, if it was like a volcano or something. But they're doing mandatory evacuations in Canada around that area called Yellowknife, which is also an indigenous area. There's a lot of indigenous attack right now. And when I say indigenous, I don't just mean like Native American. I mean that the indigenous populations in places are being attacked for control. Control. Yes, that is what we were talking about, right? Do you guys remember a while back? It must have been like last year, and I said we did a video, and I think it was one of the last ones that I did that was open to the public, and I may have to do a live to the public and then remind them to go back to that video. But remember, there was a video, a live that I did that was called the 100 Miles, and it was about the border and how they had made 100-mile thing so that they could go into any home under like some guidance of protecting the borders, or like a natural disaster scenario. Okay, and the reason, I just got, it's like 3 days ago, Spirit said to me, now we know why. Now we know why. So what I got in terms of that was that Spirit was saying that we thought that they wanted to like raid the homes because most of the major cities are on the borders, and that is true, but it's not for the reason that we thought. We thought it was just targeting of the populations in the large cities because that would give them control. But what they really want, I don't care what country you live in, if you pay attention, it might be happening where you are too. Basically, what's happening is, in most places, the borders or the waterfront properties are worth more. They're worth more. Okay? Why? For several reasons. Okay, economically, yes, major cities are in these places. Why are the major cities in these places? Because they have shorefront, okay, meaning they can get shipments in faster. Right? They're hubs. Right? So what they want to do is exactly what they're doing in Puerto Rico, what they've done in the Caribbean islands. They want to privatize the fronts. Right? They're selling it to the American people as border control about people coming in, but it's also going out. They want to push the population to the center, to the center. Now, I feel like, there's a land grab that's also happening in the center. And I feel like the land grab has something to do with, like, they want to make little communities where you would be like easier to get to work, but it's like a renter nation. So for some of y'all need to go back and, you know, I should have looked it up before. I can do it now while we're on. But the word vassal, Vassel, I believe it's spelled. And it's funny because that was something I learned when I was young, like in the 5th grade or something. And for some fucking reason, I can remember like the day my teacher said it. His name was Mr. Murphy, an Irish man who used to turn red, almost purple when he used to yell. So vassals, from my understanding, and I'll look up the definition in a minute, was like a community or a parcel of land that was given by the king to like lords. Okay, so let's look it up. Vassal. A holder of land by feudal shit. You know my fucking eyes, right? A holder of land by feudal tenure or conditions of homage and allegiance. Okay, so in other words, if you were a lord or someone who was connected to, let's say, those in power, whether you want to look at it as an elite family, royalty, whatever, right? Put it in your context for where you are. What would happen is that a lord would be given a certain amount of area that he ruled over. Think of them as mayors. Okay? And then for that lord to maintain a particular type of lifestyle, he would have indentured servants. Now, what was the definition of that? Right? You might want to build or get permission from that lord or the vassal owner to basically lease or rent a particular property or a piece of land, and you would pay basically taxes for the usage of said land. And how you might pay for that would be in your labor or off of what you sold. Let's say you were planting corn and you sold corn, you would pay some of that to the vassal holder. And the vassal holder, which is the lord or whatever that is ruling over that area, answers to a king or somebody that is in control of all of the lords, all of the vassal holders. So back to what I was saying about when I was younger, that phrase always stuck in my fucking head. I don't know why. But I feel like I know why now. Because that's what they're doing. What's good, Cynthia? They want to return to lord holders. To lord over an area, a community. Okay, so that's happening. And I feel like no matter where you look, you can see evidence of this. Especially from the countries that were part of the slave trade. Okay? Now there's also like a reshifting of allocation. You was just about to say back to slavery. In essence, I want you to understand, if the economy or the prices of everything goes so high that you can't afford to own a home because they've bought up all the homes, and if there is leftover homes, the interest rate is so high and the prices of the homes are so astronomical that it puts people from poor to upper middle class out of home range, out of home ownership, then they force you to pay a higher rate for rent. You pay a higher rate for gas, you pay a higher rate for water. So they are pricing you out and backdooring you into indentured servitude so you can pay off your car loan, so you can pay your rent, so you can keep your lights on. So they've done it again in a different form. Okay? And they divide us by color or by differences like LGBTQ, liberal, conservative, poor, rich, black, white, indigenous, non-indigenous. They have all these things because they want you to resent someone else for your present condition, so that you can feel as if this is not a situation that can be rectified, or that there's a loss of hope. Okay, also, we have this book banning thing happening in Florida. Okay, they said dry run, dry run. Okay, so I feel like they would love to close down all of the fucking libraries. I'm serious. Right? Because as much as they want to stop like the information highway that's happening on TikTok and other platforms, they feel like if they sprinkle in some misinformation amongst all of the information that's being pumped out to the collective and shut down the libraries, we won't have the original knowledge. So in other words, you'll be awakened in the DNA, and all of this will be coming up from within, but they're going to try to shut down so without the tools for you to go and research further. Okay, also, and I may be jumping around because Spirit is just like talking. There is a movement that's happening in South Korea right now. Don't know how much attention it is getting here. The movement is a women's movement, and it's taking basically, without them recognizing that they're using that method, they've actually employed the Chirac method, which I had said to you guys a while ago, that they kept saying like Chirac, like the Spike Lee movie. So this movement is called the 4B movement, okay? And I don't speak Korean, or I'm not fluent in that. But basically, the 4Bs are, the B word B, but it's like dating, marrying, having sex, and interacting with men, the 4Bs. Okay, these women have sworn off men because they were saying basically that they're not respected, that the misogyny has gotten out of control, right? So, I just want to bring it to attention that we are not the only nation that the women, regardless of color, are being targeted. The indigenous are being targeted. The poor is being targeted. The middle class is being targeted. It doesn't matter what continent you're on. Okay, so this is the Great Divide. And they want to make it wider, like the Grand Canyon. Okay, but what they're not taking into consideration is it's the God in me. They're not taking into consideration the divine feminine frequency that is in all of us, that is being activated by the divine goddess, by the mother. I have been telling you for almost a year, if not more, that the divine mother is back. I feel like the kickoff was the Georgia Stones blowing up. We all could fucking feel that she was coming. That was the signal. And so this is why we're seeing things that don't belong. Like, yes, we just had this Hawaii disaster, right? And now they're going to get hit with a hurricane. And, you know, there's plenty of reports about heart, but I feel like this hurricane in particular, we're going to wash that gray right out of our hair. The mother is coming. Okay, to like purify, to wash away, to uncover. It's something there. Okay, so I feel like, you know, you're gonna see more and more things not that they're happening in like a weird sequence that and listen, they want the masses sleep. Y'all fucking know this already. But everybody can feel like that's out of place, like that doesn't belong there, right? It's almost like, you know, like when you were in school and they would show you an image and they would show like pairs, and there would be one that didn't have a pair, but they would flash it and they wanted you to pick out the one that wasn't paired up. It's like that, right? And the images or the flashes or the things that are coming at us, they're coming so fast and so from so many different directions that it's almost like you don't have time to process. Okay, so like I think in the 30s or when they used to do silent films and they started like understanding the power of the silent films, they used to put these images in between frames. Okay, so like maybe they could put a popcorn box in between frames, and then you figure like, I don't know why the fuck I want popcorn right now, because in between the scene they showed you a popcorn. You understand? So it feels like right now, because we're supposed to be calibrating, like, you know, all this frequencies coming. You see one image, you're like, what the fuck is a hurricane doing over by California and Hawaii? But you don't even get a chance to fully think about that shit, because then they tell you, oh, this shit is happening over here. Oh, so-and-so got arrested. Oh, this is happening. Oh, that is happening. Oh, the temperature is over 100 degrees for almost 30 days. Like, it's coming from so many fucking places that you don't have the full time to finish processing one image before another one. Submarines blowing up, like just mad shit, right? So by the time you get to the supermarket, you don't realize you're paying $25 for eggs. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but do you understand what I'm saying? And then I hear now, that's the way love goes. That's the way love goes, right? So they want you to feel like this is just what it is. It's just what it is. You have no control. It's just what it is. Okay? Don't fight back. Don't think about it too long. Your brain's gonna hurt. You see? Okay, before I start pulling cards, let's just talk about one more fucking thing that's been irking my nerves. The orange one. And all these attacks that are happening to either grand jurors, politicians, DAs, judges. I want you to think about one thing. If you in your regular life was running around attacking all these people, would you not be under the jail? Regardless if you had, you know, if you were telling the truth or not, like just that kind of noise, right? I said to you guys a while ago, and you know, I have a feeling that this video is going out to the public. So for those of you that, you know, that may watch this later, because this is a private Patreon reading. It's as if I'm telling you what's going to happen is that in addition to him threatening all these people and trying to start some type of halting of him being held accountable for what the whole public could see was happening. The next stage is he's going to start outing things that he knew. So don't forget that a lot of his supporters that are politicians now actually hated him in the beginning, but he used Big Red. Y'all know who the fuck I'm talking about. His zaddy. He used Big Red's playbook by using things of compromise. Compromise is like something that you could be blackmailed or cases on all you bitches, right? So they're showing me Denzel, right? So what he did was when he saw who was gonna stand in his way, I'm talking about back when he was running the first time. He had people on his payroll do investigations into all these bitches. And he knows where the bones are buried. And then once he got into office, he had even more ability. They said McCarthyism, right? So he had even more ability to find out shit about people that he had no business getting that information. And so a lot of these people were blackmailed into submission. I feel like once he, cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, I feel like once he gets in a specific situation, he's going to start spewing shit. Okay, so I feel like part of the situation right now is that they are purposefully, both sides of the aisle, are going to abandon him hard as fuck. It's already begun. Why? Because to save the others, they have to put him out there on an island alone. And I'm not you know, like sticking up for him, but I'm just telling you that that's what's gonna happen. You're unbelievable, right? So they don't be surprised if like soon that something happens and they say, well, he's a crackpot. and they try to go the mental health route, which we kind of knew that. That's why that doctor came up stinking. Okay, the doctor who was supposedly his personal doctor for so long. Understand? Because he knew where the bones were buried too. But he had the orange one's bones, so you know. Okay? Now, let's pull some cards. I can't believe we was here for half an hour just chatting. Achieve Saturn. So they're very close to achieving their overall plan. But Saturn is in retrograde in Pisces, the hidden, the mother. Foiled again. Okay, they showed me Gargamel from the Smurfs. Okay, and if you use that cartoon as for those of you old enough to use that cartoon kind of like as a metaphor, right? So they were like indigenous miniature people, mushrooms, living in mushroom houses, right? And their skin was blue, right? And Gargamel was like ruling over them, vassal, right? And also trying to destroy them. Okay, now you also have here descendant. And they mean sunken place, but I'm, I feel like they want to us all to descend into the sunken place, but I feel like this descendant is also speaking of ascendant, like, your lineage. So there's something here about like our frequency and them trying to keep us, okay, like they want to push down. Okay, the pressure is building, kind of like a volcano, okay? So as above, so below, just how the earth is reacting, so is humanity, okay? So it's bubbling, right? Because you can't stop the activation, and the Schumann resonance over the weekend, last weekend was kind of high again. So it's coming in waves. It's coming in waves, and it's coming on the back of the sun. It's coming on the back of the sun, okay? Emission, cognition, ignition key. So something's being activated. And they're trying to hold it back, okay? So that's why the images are being flooded. They're flooding. Overwhelm them. The matrix is crumbling. Overwhelm them. Stop it. Stop. The 100 monkeys. It's happening. They're tipping. Stop. Spirit, anything else from this deck? They're trying to stop the alliance, the conjunction, the activation, the all. They're trying to stop the activation of the all. But the mother is calling us. We can all feel it. Spirit, can you show me? Libra, balance. We're about to come into balance, even though they're trying to throw us off, okay? Because when it's thrown off, that's the frequency that they like, because they can drain the energy. And the balance is here in the fourth house home. But we're all. They thought the pandemic would give them control, and it did for a short while, but something happened. It was an activation, and now we are, they can't get us out of the fucking home. They can't get us to come back. Baby, come back. You could blame it all on me, because now they know they fucking need us, because other things are happening in other places where there's uprisings, and they're not going to be able to get the elements and the things that they need to create the kinds of wealth that they use to maintain systems, and that is crumbling. how's my collective handling this? Can you show me? How's my collective handling this? Compassion. Imagine. So we're trying to be gentle with ourselves, but the awakening has begun and it can't be taken back. Okay, so held. Okay, they are trying to hold us back. Okay, they are trying to hold us back. Okay, but the mother, okay, it says held, may you feel the ocean's caress. The mother is activated, okay, gonna wash that gray right out of your head, right? She's coming to remove the toxins, okay? Because they tried to kill love and they're still trying to kill love because that's a way to control. So what they do is that they make people feel hopeless, okay? They break families, they break communities, okay? Magic, right? Because we're all under a spell. We're all under a spell, and now we're deciding, okay? We're deciding to take the road less traveled. We're putting the bags down. Bag lady, okay, new beginning. You see how I walk into the water to wash that gray right out of our hair, right? And the wild. You know, and how they say, you know, may the road rise to meet you, but look how the water is rising to meet us. Fury, 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 fury. Okay, Spirit, anything else from this deck? Journey cross. Listen, I'm gonna say some shit. Big Red is running around talking about that he's trying to knock out the remnants of the Führer. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. Okay? But both sides of the equation are the same face. One leads with a trough where they put their hand and they put just enough seed to sustain you, and you eat out of the palm of their hand, so that way you stay indebted. And the other one, excuse me, rules with an iron fist. Neither believe in freedom. And that's why we got to fight the powers that be. Because they both are stemming from the same system, the vassal system. Don't think that one is better than the other and that one is going to save you from the other, because it ain't going down. We are the return. We're not waiting for someone to return. We are the return. It's time for us to decide. Okay, what it is that we are giving our frequency over to, because lightness is here. I feel like that's what we're trying to achieve, and then pause, right? Are you, I'm living my best life, ain't going back and forth with you, right? So I feel like this is like, okay, we've been working on our frequency for some time. We're getting to know the difference. As above, so below. My energy from the outward energy. But now that you can differentiate it, what the fuck you gonna do about it? What you gonna do with that knowledge? So we're setting boundaries in our personal life, but what about the system? Are we setting boundaries there about what we are giving our frequency to? It's time. It's time. Okay? Each one teach one. There's an app, I forget what it's called, 24/7 Farm Fresh or something, Farmers. Okay, look for that app. They're selling seeds. They have fresh grown local farmers, all right? Listen, you're gonna have to find, they're already raping you in regards to like what you're spending in, for groceries, right? So if you're gonna have to spend $20 for a pack of chicken, that ain't even real. You might as well spend it on this site. At least it will be, farm raised or whatever, okay? Or what? Listen, it's time to. We're gonna spend the money because we need to sustain, right? So you have to start deciding who you're spending your money with. That's first. Okay? And listen, whether you can afford, I want to talk to my peoples for a minute. Okay, whether you can afford a Gucci belt or a pair of Jordans is not the point, okay? Many of us can do things like that. But where does that money go? And in whose pocket does that go? And is that money actually being used to hold you down, to further suppress, to keep you asleep, right? I've had, just speaking for myself and my own frame of thinking, okay, because I try to come to you guys, in a transparent way, although I am a private person, right? I've had quite a few luxury cars in my day, okay? Even if I could go pay, and, one of those I paid cash, right? It's not about if you have it, gang. It's not about if you have it. It's about who is benefiting from that and if you are benefiting from that. Okay? Right? So, like, let's say $100 sneakers or $100 worth of seeds to grow your own food, even if it's in little buckets in your fucking back porch or whatever, on your fire escape. That $100 will sustain your family. Those sneakers gonna get dirty. Do you understand? They want us preoccupied with the wrong shit. And I use the sneaker thing, listen, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I love sneakers. All right, I have quite a big collection my damn self, okay? But I haven't bought a pair of sneakers now since maybe September of last year. I buy them regularly. Okay? I'm not doing that shit. Why? Because I have enough to not even wear my kicks twice in a month. I'm not trying to brag, right? But that means I already have too much. You feel me? That means I already have too much and I'm filling my life, my existence with things. We need to reevaluate. Okay, because this is what's got our journey fucked up. This is what's got the love fucked up. We're at a frequency with we're out of alignment, out of frequency with what we truly would make us feel fulfilled, because they've put these images and they're flashing and they're coming so fast, and they got us thinking that one thing is important and it's the materialism, and it's not. Right? So in other words, if you were living somewhere else, right, you know, where this system wasn't, you know, you might have to build shelter yourself, have to grow your own food, but you would do what you needed for self-sustenance and to sustain a particular life. Okay, you wouldn't be working 12 hours a day, or, you know, whatever, 5 days, 6 days a week to just make it by. You could probably do the labor for the sustenance of keeping, you know, your lifestyle probably within a few hours a day, and would have the balance of the day to interact with your families. But they made it in a way where it's so they trick us into thinking it's convenient. It's not fucking convenient. They're actually stealing your independence, your autonomy, the ability to self-govern. Spirit. So they have you thinking that you're paying for the convenience of 2-day delivery on Amazon, or groceries coming to your house, or supermarkets and things. But really what they're stealing from you is the knowledge that you would need to be able to care for yourself, so that if a situation arises, you would be fucking lost in the sauce, okay? You would be running to the vassal, the Lord. Help us, Zaddy. Got me? They block us on purpose. Not only they block us on purpose, but they use this messaging that divides the collective, so that way we could feel like the opponent is standing next to us, not above us. Overseer, officer, officer. Black cop. Go listen to KRS-One. Okay, so let's pull some tarot to see here. You got the Hierophant here. This is the system. This is the Pope of the Tarot. Okay, the church is actually the ruler of the government. Don't argue with me, argue with your mama. Look it up, it's the truth. Okay, Hierophant with the Strength card. Okay, the Troth or the Iron Glove. You choose. 6 million ways to die. Choose one. Got me? 2 of Cups. Right? And this is giving me forget the name of it. I always forget the name of this shit. When you fall in love with the captor. Okay, like when you're a hostage and you fall in love with the hostage taker. That's what it's giving me, okay? So whether it's the Iron Fist or the Troth, this 2 of Cups card, it's like to make you cling to the devil you know. Judgment. But the system is breaking down because that big ass bird is the mother coming to blow the horn. Gabriel is in the house, right? Temperance is here, right? What did I say? Gabriel's in the house. Temperance is here for the healing, the heart chakra, right? And temperance on temperance is a double, as above, so below. So the earth is healing, we're healing, and they're trying to stop. They're trying to stop us. And you're going to see all these natural fucking disasters, but it's the way the earth is healing. Okay, I told you, I've been telling you, okay? And those for you that, you know, are going to see this later on YouTube, you know, this, we've been talking about this in the Patreon group for quite some time. As above, so below. The mother's coming to purify the virus, okay? If we don't get correct with the mother, then we the fucking viruses, and us being disseminated to try to lead the way to those who are trying to break free from the sunken place, as above, so below, okay? Wings, on the wings of the mother, the messengers, Gabriel, the divine mother, if we go into Lilith, right? Her children, right? They were supposed to be these giants. These, because her children, the angels, had babies with humans, and right? So y'all fucking understanding what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, remember that the angels were supposed to take care of humanity, and some of them rebelled, whatever. But that's not the point. It's like they're back in the saddle, back on the job, right? Because the mother sent them. And there's a pouring, as above, so below. There's a pouring happening. Okay, it's like that pouring, you know, of washing, gonna wash that gray right out of your hair, right? Because we've been lied to. We've been lied to on a grand scale, and so many things that we don't even know what the fucking truth is anymore. Ace of Swords, we can't differentiate anymore, right? But the King of Pentacles, it was all for greed. It was all to take our money. It was all for that. Okay, but we've forgotten how to be self-sustaining. Okay, so it's time to use the, you know, this is the husband. Okay, this is the abundant king. Okay, and this is like you know, the iron fist king, right? So I want you to think about this. Okay, so this is what's being used against. This is the trough. Okay, somebody giving you the vassal, right? And this is the iron fist, right? These are the choices, right? Or you could awaken the DNA within you that also these aspects are in you, right? You need to start paying attention to what you're giving your fucking money to and what you're allowing into your frequency, because this is the system they use against you. Instead of being overwhelmed by the system, you need to incorporate it, okay, to start thinking in terms of how it's being used against you and how you can take your control back. Control. Three of Wands is here because it's future thinking. This is in what we can't see. Spirit, can you show me why this Three of Wands is here in the position of what we can't see? Two of Pentacles. So they're trying to give us no way out of no way. Okay, with the Two of Pentacles, they want both choices to be bad. Didn't I say that, you know, 6 million ways to die? Choose one. Spirit, can you show me, please? With the Two of Cups, okay? So we have a choice. Are we going to take their options? Are we going to take their options in the future? Or we're going to create our own, okay? Spirit speaking loudly right now. All right, Queen of Cups, because they can't beat the mother. This is the mother. You can't beat the mother, okay? She will wash this shit away with love, okay? And there will be loss. There will be loss of life. Ace of Wands for a passionate new beginning, for the fledglings, for the little ones. Ace of Pentacles behind that. Fuck around and find out with the Six of Wands. You can't beat nature. Okay, Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This plan that they've had for so long is fucking crumbling. Okay, because the star, because the winged mother, the goddess, the supreme, the Lilith, the supernova. Okay, Eight of Swords. And now the system that they built to oppress us is starting to oppress them. And that is what you are witnessing. Okay, Knight of Wands. Okay, they, you know, three blind mice. Three blind mice. So it's like everybody's scattered, okay? And they want that in a particular, they want us kind of in that frequency. What goes up must come down. They want us to not know where the fuck to look, where to look. Ten of Pentacles, all right? This is how they taking the generational wealth and legacy, okay? 100 mile, right? Because you'll be so worried about trying to maintain, you know, your family, feeding yourself, right? That you won't really realize that you've lost everything or the ability to attain anything. And that's the motive. Queen of Pentacles right here. Spirit, why is this Queen of Pentacles here for the truth of the matter? Can you show me, please? Queen of Pentacles on Queen of Pentacles with the Fool, okay? Because no matter what you do, you cannot kill. Ooh, I didn't even see that there. All right. So the Queen of Pentacles, she's the entrepreneurial, right? She's, you know, I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, right? She makes a business out of no way. She will make, you know, cookies and sell them. She'll do people's hair in the kitchen. She finds a way to barter, to uphold the fucking family, right? And the devil, sorry, holding it backwards, right? The devil, right? So this is them like saying, well, we need to target that, okay? Roe versus Wade, many different ways. Let's fuck her frequency up because they know that the mother is here too. They know that this shit couldn't even be happening with the firm grip and the trough. That only the only thing that could disrupt that system is the mother. So they want to push fear, push fear, push fear, right? But what comes out to that? The Queen of Pentacles, because no matter how many fucking times you push the Queen of Pentacles back, she's ground, she grows, she births. She's going to make that shit come right back. She's going to do it in spite of fear, okay? Lilith, energy, the Fool, it will just happen again. There's a thing, okay, talking about, it was a study that was done, like you can't remove an indigenous a population, you would have to kill them all. Why? Because the mother will still give birth to the mitochondrial DNA and it will still be passed down in the line. You cannot, okay? So they've tried it in many places, okay? The Taino tribe, okay? The Aztecs, they've tried this so many times and no matter what, the bloodline stays. Okay, and in that bloodline is the encoding. Okay, Four of Wands. What we're missing is the self-sustaining and keeping them out. Okay, with the Page of Swords, we're getting ready to use that Page of Swords against them. In the beginning, I was saying that, you know, because you see the Page of Swords was at the bottom of the deck. In the beginning, I was saying that they're trying to block us, right? But now we're starting to understand the frequency and how we can block. It's like we're starting to understand how to put a filter on the third eye so that when they try to send the shit, we filter it out and we take with discernment. Okay? And it's hitting the third eye like a cocktail, a supernova cocktail where the mother has put something in that is activation, and it's happening in waves, because there would be a cognitive dissonance if it was to just happen overnight. Okay? Now, you have the Three of Pentacles here. You see how we're all coming to the mother? The mother says we don't need their system to sustain. What we need to do is detoxify, rehab. They wanted me to go to rehab, and I said, no, right? The smack. Okay? We're fucking resistant to the drug of convenience. Three of Pentacles to the Five of Wands, because we don't know how to work together anymore. They did it on purpose, and the mission now is to return. Okay, look, the Knight of Pentacles again, a reverse at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so the Chariot, the Page of Swords was at the bottom of the deck. Let's clarify that. And you have here the Queen of Swords. Okay, where the mother is now going to be guarding. Okay, and the vassals will be by women. In other words, we're going to be the spearhead of our communities, of our households. We are the defenders. They're on my neck right now. We are the defenders. We are the champions, my friends. Look at her coming. Look at her coming on the Chariot. Look at that. Page of Pentacles, okay? To restore the land, to be fruitful and prosper. And the new seedlings and the new fledglings. And the Six of Swords. And as day breaks, we find a way to calm our waters, but it will be after a long, hard night. We will have to rebuild again with the Seven of Pentacles. We will wonder if we have enough. But the Three of Cups, the community will solve this. The community will solve this. And this King of Swords here, this masculine, which is the counterpart of this Queen of Swords, who will be the defender, the defender, the defender. They will answer to the mother. They will answer to the Empress. They no longer will answer to the call of the system, to the call of the matrix, to the programming, The Nine of Wands, we're becoming resistant. We're becoming resistant, and their jail is becoming smaller. It's closing in on them. It's closing in on them. Okay, they're trying to confuse us in the last second with the Knight of Wands to try to put all these fucking images. Okay, so we could feel like our cup is too small, your thing's too little, can't work the middle. Okay, but the Ten of Pentacles is here. We need community. And that's what they're trying so hard to stop. All right. So the sun illuminated. It's coming back to full circle. Six of Cups. We are going to return to hunter-gatherers. The Lovers. It will be a choice. And it's a cruel, it's like a cruel awakening here. And a long, what was that? A long kiss goodnight. Okay, that movie was mostly done in the snow, in the cold. It's cold, okay? It's very cold. Okay, they're going to be left out in the cold. Eight of Pentacles, okay? And the Hierophant, right? They're going to try to do some other system, but it fails. Hangman. We've gotten a new perspective. It's too late. It's too late, baby, now. It's too late. Okay, so there's a shift coming. We're not done. Okay, the mother is not done. This is not to fear. Those that, it feels like those that have ruled with the trough and the fist, they're the ones who need to be fearful. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave it, gang. I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for spending a little time with me. And I want to add that for those of you who might be seeing this on YouTube, go back and look for the 100-mile border video. Okay? All right, gang. That's what I have for you guys. I'd just like to say thank you to you guys for spending some time with me. All right? I'm wishing you all light and love, and have a fabulous weekend, guys.